Charlotte has come up I-85 and inside the friendly confines at Bank of America Stadium. The gates are open, and this one is expected to be filled to the top of the stadium. It's a big one between Charlotte FC and Atlanta United. Welcome to a special edition of Charlotte Sports Live. In fact, we're calling it Charlotte Sports Live FC in honor of our soccer friends. He's my friend, Gabe McDonald, and I'm Mike Lissette.
And man, that cold open, I don't know about you, Mike, but it has me ready for some soccer. And we have a jam-packed show for you leading up to kickoff right here on Fox Charlotte. We're going one-on-one with Charlotte FC captain Ashley Westwood and chopping it up with the man on the call today, none other than Fox Sports' Sue Holden. But they are the only ones to join the party on this Saturday morning. Our very own Grace Grill holding it down on the pitch. And we also have Will Kunkel back in the studio ready to break this one all down.
Yeah, but we got to start previewing this game, and it is a big one for Charlotte FC. Why is it important? Because they're still looking for their first win. In fact, they're the only team, one of the only two teams in the Eastern Conference to not pick up a win through their first two games of the season. But in this one, you got to throw records out the door. All week long, Charlotte has been working on two things: fine-tuning its attack and then staying clean near the end of games. Head coach Tristan Latanzio says there is no better time than now to end the early woes.
The belief is important that we keep it high, that we keep going. We're gonna find the difficult games, but we have to make sure that we give very, very difficult games to the opposition as well. We want to control our energy, but we have to play with the intensity and quality, which are the two parameters that I always keep my focus on for our team. We have to be intense and we have to play with quality.
And we're just 2 games in, but here is your tail of the tape ahead of this matchup. Neither team in the greatest of form so far. Charlotte winless, while Atlanta has a win and a draw. Charlotte knows its start has been lackluster. They're just one of 2 teams left in the Eastern Conference without any points heading into match week 3. 1 total goal for the Crown compared to 3 for ATL. 4 goals conceded compared to 2 in favor of the 5 Stripes. But remember, Charlotte's #1 backstop, Christian Kalina, is still recovering from a back injury. Charlotte does lead one stat in the league. It's a not-so-good one. 6 yellow cards already through 2 matches. And we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to keep our fast start going by sending it right down to the pitch.
Yeah, Grace Grill is standing by. The boys in blue need a win here, Grace. And it's got to start with defense, right?
Yes, they do. And you know, there's an old Oasis song that says, "Don't look back in anger." But if you're a Charlotte fan, there's been a lot of that going on. The team and the fans clearly frustrated with how the first couple of games to the season have gone, and rightfully so. And naturally, you want to take that frustration and that anger and let it fuel you, especially when you're going up against your most heated opponent. But Charlotte's locker room, they're keeping a level head, and the player keeping everyone in check, Nathan Byrne. Byrne has seen his fair share of derbies playing in the English Premier League, and this is what he's preaching to his teammates, especially the defense.
For me, I'm not going to approach it any differently than I would any other game, but I think in derby matches, it comes down to controlling your emotions and using them in the right way, because as you've seen all over the world, when matches are derby or against your rivals, anger can spill over, and that's never a good thing.
All right, and if there's one guy that this Charlotte defense needs to zero in on today, it is Thiago Almada. He's already got 2 goals this season for Atlanta, and he is riding high off this past summer. He is the only MLS player to win a World Cup. I guess he must have learned a couple things from his buddy Messi this past summer. So Charlotte FC definitely want to keep an eye on him today. Guys?
Thank you very much, Grace. The 3rd ever meeting between these 2 teams. The road team has never won, and Charlotte is looking to keep it that way. We have much more to come on the show, including this.
I want to bring that experience of settling the team down at vital moments. Like I said, we've been playing well. We've been playing well. But the first game here, we conceded last on. That's one thing I want to change.
The captain of the Crown, first-year Charlotte FC midfielder Ashley Westwood, still adjusting to life in America, but one thing stays the same. Find out what that is next.
And think taking a penalty in MLS is easy? Guess again. Charlotte Sports Live's Will Kunkel and Carla Gebhardt take the field with 2 of Crown Legacy's finest to learn the art of the PK and the save.
The festivities continue at Bank of America Stadium, and as I said before, we are just getting started. More Charlotte Sports Live FC coming your way after this. Fans at Bank of America Stadium are revved up and ready to go. They want to see the Crown's first win of the season today. Kickoff between Charlotte FC and Atlanta United coming up in about 46 minutes. I'll tell you something, Gabe, there is a lot of star power on the field today. But could you imagine, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds checking out a Charlotte FC game?
Hey, it could soon happen if the draw falls away. Charlotte FC is actually the first MLS team to enter the soccer tournament, a.k.a. CST. It's a 7-on-7 tournament that gets started on June 1st up in Cary. You have the Actors team, Wrexham AFC in it. Clint Dempsey has a team in it. And we also have a squad of former U.S. women's national team stars. And the best part, Mike, if Charlotte does win, the $1 million prize is going to the Anton Walks 5 Family Fund. So some good stuff for sure.
It does beg the question, could the captain of the Crown be going 7-on-7? For more on that, we send it back field level and Grace Grill to talk about one of Charlotte's newest acquisitions.
Well, guys, he spent the past 10 seasons in the English Premier League, but when the opportunity came for Ashley Westwood to come and play for Charlotte FC, it was an opportunity that he could not pass on. Earlier this week, I sat down with the new Charlotte FC captain and talking about the impact that Charlotte has already had on him and the impact that he hopes to have on the club. Well, Ashley, thank you for joining us. We're so happy to be sitting down with you.
No problem.
Welcome to Charlotte. Would you get a day like this in March in England?
Nope, I've checked the weather back home. It's raining, 1 degree we call it in England. What's that, like 34 degrees here? So it's, I keep sending pictures to my mates. So it's enjoyable. I'm really enjoying it. Obviously that side of it, but we need to get a few results. That's the most important thing.
Well, only been here a little bit in Charlotte, a couple games in. What has impressed you the most with the city and the club so far?
The city's incredible. It's a beautiful place. Like you said, the weather helps. The facilities here are unbelievable, and like I said, we've just had the news now that we're going into the new training facility in, I think, the middle of June. So we're there every day. It looks exciting, and like I said, it's a real promising club, and it's a real honour for me to be here.
Well, why did you want to come to Charlotte? I mean, you spent the last 10 years in the Premier League, and then coming over to America. We like to be good at things over here. So what can you say about where MLS is going?
You do it properly. That's one thing the Americans do. It's whatever they do it properly, and like I said, I've seen that now. If the opportunity come about, I had an injury back in England, and then I had a few phone calls, and it was an opportunity I didn't want to turn down for me and the family. Thankfully, Zoran's given me that chance, and Christian, I spoke to Christian a lot. He's someone I want to work with, and I know a lot of people who have worked with him in the past. So it's good for the football club and what they're doing here. Hopefully it's a real special place.
Obviously, there's a little bit of difference in the game just whenever you switch leagues. But what has been the biggest adjustment for you?
The quality's been incredible. Like, I've come here, the lads are on it. They train hard every day. They work hard. Like I said, it's just in the Premier League you have that. In the final third, you've got that real quality where you get punished. Whereas that's something that they're going to get here. We've got players that can do that. Enzo, Carol, Camille. We've got players that can do that. So it's just about us all gelling together, and I'm sure things will be good.
What have you seen just from the first couple games? Obviously, it's different in practice, but now they got a couple under your belt. Like, where do you go? Obviously, the team hasn't had a win yet, but your role, how does that step up?
Yeah, obviously the first game was, I've never seen anything like that. Even in England, I've played at some of the best stadiums in England, and when I first come here, it blew me away. It was the fans, the noise, the whole atmosphere. It was incredible, and like I said, for me, I want to bring that experience of settling the team down at vital moments. Like I said, we've been playing well. We've been playing well, but the first game here we conceded last on. That's one thing I want to change. And as a group, we need to grow and not gift other teams goals.
This team was so close to making the playoffs last season. Do you believe that this team can do that this year?
Yeah, and the boys have said it. We're in a better position than we were last year. I know it took us a while to get going last year, but we're playing good football. Like I said, last year we weren't far off. We want to do better away from home. That was the main target, and even draw a few more football matches. That was one of our tasks as well. So we've had a good sit down, we've had a lot of meetings, and now the team want to back that up now with performances on the pitch.
Big game this weekend. We're calling it almost. It's starting to become a little bit of a rivalry. Like, being new, have you been able to feel that and what that means?
It's bizarre for me because obviously a derby in England is 20 minutes down the road, but this is 2 hours away. So it's like, for me, I've got to get my head around that. But yeah, it's a bit of a rivalry. Obviously, I know Brad Guzan there. I played with him at Aston Villa, so I won't be speaking to him until after the game, that's for sure.
What can we expect from the team this weekend? What's the mindset going into this game?
We want a good performance. We want to score goals. We want to keep a clean sheet. And like I said, most important, we want to get that win because it's been coming, but it's not quite there yet, and we've been talking about it a lot. So it's the main thing is getting that W here.
Well, we are excited for the game this weekend, and Charlotte is excited to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Well, we certainly thank Ashley for his time, and it's easy to see just sitting down with him for a couple minutes why he is the captain. He refers to his teammates as the lads, so I'm going to send it back up top to my lads.
Appreciate you, Grace. Westy, as he's called in the locker room, he's 2 for 5 in penalty kicks in his pro career. So if Charlotte does get awarded one today, it'll likely be Karol Swiderski getting the honors, Mike.
Crazy thought here. What if Will Kunkel and Carla Gephardt got in the game? What if they found out what went into taking and saving PKs? Well, Gabe, we're going to find out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go! We've got Nate and Brian from Crown Legacy FC, as well as Will Kunkel there at the end. And we're talking all about PKs and the ins and outs and what it takes to be good at this part of the game.
Picks his spot and does get the equaliser.
All right, so I'm your goalie today. First of all, before we start, have you ever dove straight into one of these posts while trying to make a save?
Definitely. Taking some knocks on the head, and that just comes with the job. So you want to try to hold as long as possible, and then at that point, you could use some sort of indicators of where they put their plant foot. So if they angle it a certain way, odds are they're going to shoot the way that they're angling their foot. So if you can kind of pick up on that, that's a little bit of a helpful tool. But
yeah, that's not going to happen for me. But.
Here's Rios. That's cheeky.
All right, so what you're approaching the ball, what is the main setup here for you personally?
For me personally, it's set up the ball how I want it. Because sometimes the goalie come and they try to set it up for you, and I don't like taking it because I feel like they want me, that's where they want me to take it. So I go, put the ball when I place it, and then I go back 3 steps. And then before the ref whistles, I take a deep breath and tell myself I can do it, and then I shoot it.
So 3 steps, say you can do it, and then just go for it, right?
Yeah, and then I choose a corner and never switch it.
All right, so now this is the main event. This is what we've been practicing for all afternoon. You're going to be the goalie, I'm going to be the kicker, and you're going down.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Go.
Oh, let's go! Oh, my God!
Oh, let's go. Why is he counting?
Some great stuff. Our thanks to Brian Romero and Nate Silveri of Crown Legacy FC. They lead Charlotte's MLS Next Pro team. They make their debut on March 26th at the Sportsplex in Matthews.
Well, the clock is going to be on your screen in just a second. We are quickly approaching game time between Charlotte FC and Atlanta United. And the man on the call, Stu Holden, joins us next on Charlotte Sports Live FC to talk about it.
You can see the countdown clock continue to roll down here at Bank of America Stadium. Players warming up, the fans getting hyped. They want that first win of the season, and they want it against Atlanta as we roll on here on CSL FC. Now, this is the national game of the week, which means Fox Sports is putting America's favorite analyst on the call, Mike.
Yeah, the thing is, Stu Holden is not actually here. He's calling the game in Florida. It's crazy how technology works. Luckily, though, he was able to talk with our own Will Kunkel recently to talk about the Big Derby. Hello, Will.
Well, first of all, I wish I was out there with you boys. Looks like an awesome atmosphere, but I'm actually here with a more important guest, more important than all of us, Stu Holden, former men's national team midfielder for Team USA, turned analyst for Fox Sports, and will be on the call next right here on Fox Charlotte. Stu, Charlotte may be a young franchise, but this rivalry with Atlanta, it seems pretty fun. These fans live for it. How important is something like this for MLS?
This is huge for MLS. And in fact, what Charlotte were able to do last season, I know on the field, just missing out on the playoffs. But off the field, the amount of support that came out in numbers, what Charlotte were able to do in gaining excitement. And look, a big part of soccer, we feel, are these budding rivalries. And of course, you have the proximity when you think about geography with Atlanta. But really, look, Atlanta was one of the best teams in this league over the past couple of years since they've came on the scene. So naturally, you get Charlotte, new kids on the block. They really want to show that they can be one of those teams as well in what they're doing and what they're building. So I look at this game and I think that over time, this rivalry is going to become more heated. You're going to start to get a little bit more moments when some of this history builds. But in fact, you're actually watching this history unfold in front of our eyes, which is cool because this is only the second year of this rivalry and you've seen it swinging back and forth. And in fact, Charlotte's first ever goal in their club's history was against Atlanta United. I know in a losing effort that time, but I think that this game today is going to bring some more energy and some more passion and perhaps could be that launching off point for this season for Charlotte FC.
Well, speaking of the launching off point, we're looking for it. We're trying to find it. It didn't come in game 1 against New England. Game 2 against St. Louis, we're just going to entirely forget about. As you watch film, as you get ready for this match next, what have you seen in CLTFC that should give me some positivity going for the rest of the season?
What I've seen from Charlotte so far in the first couple of games is just a team that's in games, that's looking good, that should have beaten New England in their opening match, but then makes one mistake 88th minute in the game that looks a little bit naive. New England put the ball in the back of the net, you lose 1-0. Against St. Louis, boy, yeah, you do need to just throw that one out completely. But I know it's so early, but you can't fall behind and say start the season with 3 losses, the third one being against Atlanta and one of your rivals and a team that you'll be competing with in the Eastern Conference. So I think if we're going to find out what this team is made of this season and if they can be for real, they need to cut out some of those cheap mistakes at the back and let those guys up front who are super talented put the ball in the back of the net.
Christian Lattanzio took over for Miguel Angel Ramirez last year halfway through. This is his first full season. What do you know about Christian? What do you like about Christian? What have you seen from Christian? Because we had Willie Polachek on our show a couple nights ago, and he said he's still looking for the best lineup. What have you seen from him as a young head coach in the league?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And what he did was walk into a situation where Miguel Angel Ramirez leaves the team. He was a part of that staff, but then took it over and really just gave the team some belief, some solidity, some organization tactically that was a little bit more predictable. I felt that Miguel Angel Ramirez sometimes tried to get a little bit cute and ended up costing his team and didn't always feel like the team was on the same page. Lattanzio has done that. I think he has the belief of the players. You can see that he's well liked by his team. But, you know, here's the challenge when you're dealing with a team like Charlotte in just its second season. You're constantly evolving and bringing and adding new players to the roster. So then I agree with that assessment that I don't think he knows his best lineup yet. You're trying to find out who are my best center backs, who's going to be in the center midfield. You've got a new center midfielder. You're bringing in a new attacker. Where are you going to play Swiderski? I don't think he quite has the answers to those questions right now. And the problem in MLS, too, is you don't always get enough time to really figure that out. You've got to start getting results when you think about now the playoff changes in this league and what you're looking at coming down the end and just how important the playoffs really are. So I expect Charlotte to be in that mix, the lower end of the playoffs. I think they have a ton of attacking talent, but just defensively right now, I think Lattanzio is trying to figure that out.
All right, well, we are just about 11 and a half minutes. That is all that stands between us and kickoff. We've got more from the pitch at Bank of America Stadium when we return here on Charlotte Sports Live SC. Back here on Charlotte Sports Live FC, the Crown in full force on this Saturday. It is game day here in the Queen City, and we are under 10 minutes to go till kickoff. The sun is shining, the pitch is looking good, and the team is getting ready to take on their most heated rival in Atlanta United FC, looking for their first win of the season. That's enough from down here on the pitch. We'll send it back up to the guys up top.
Game time temperature should be about 54 degrees. Gabe, let's take our picks. Who you got today?
Yeah, so I'm going with the home team. I think Charlotte FC breaks through. They get that first dub of the year, and I think it's a clean sheet. I like Charlotte to get it done 2-0, getting that big rivalry win. I got the Crown getting it done today.
You know, I got to agree with you. I think Charlotte FC is going to win this one. I think the first couple games of the season, they've certainly taken their time getting used to each other. Now they got some of those kinks out. I think they're going to come out strong. I think they're going to come out fast. And I think they're going to punch Atlanta right in the mouth and win this one. second home game of the season for Charlotte. Again, they're looking for their first win of the season. And Gabe, all I can say is this one's for Anton.
Yeah, you see we got the pins on, rocking it for Anton Walkes. Charlotte's going to get it up today and get the season going for now. For Michael said, I'm Gabe McDonald. Thanks for watching CSL FC. Have a good day and enjoy the match.